Beautiful flame absorption. The purifying lotus demon flame will soon belong to Xiao Yen. And Gu Suner is truly amazing. She has helped Xiao Yen once again. With her heavenly flame and their joint refinement, she saved him. Of course, the Donghua series will not show it exactly as in the original novel. However, the essence remains the same. Xiao Yen absorbs the heavenly flame together with Gu Suner. The purification and refinement happen through the combined efforts of both, which gives both of them a powerful surge in strength. By the way, the trailer showed Gu Suner's new appearance, and she looks even more impressive, as befits someone at the saint level. Meanwhile, Xiao Yen has not changed at all after his increase in power. As we mentioned earlier, Gu Suner has reached the peak of 4-star saint, while Xiao Yen is at the initial 5-star saint. Previously, both were at the middle stage of 2-star. A pretty good power boost. Xiao Yen has obtained a fire spirit, little e, who will become his loyal helper. Honestly, she is impressive. This little girl can create Buddha's Fury Lotus better than Xiao Yen himself. Why? Because she is the fusion of 6 types of flames. One could say she is the evolution of all of Xiao Yan's heavenly flames. She is intelligent and at the same time obediently follows his orders. What will happen after they exit the sealed space? Let's take a look, but first, please support the video with a like, comment, and subscription. This really helps with promotion. So, after finishing with the flame, Xiao Yen and Gu Suner together exited the sealed space. With a light wave of his hand, Xiao Yen created a huge spatial crack. They disappeared into it. This area will also never appear again in the future. Over the past 2 years, these plains have become covered with greenery. A group of mercenaries discovered mysterious crystals here, filled with wild fiery energy, which made this land extremely vibrant. They were called demonic flame stones, and were considered treasures for fire attribute practitioners and alchemists. The Heavenly Palace Alliance was among those mining them. Moreover, they occupied the most energy-rich territory. But the Hall of Souls was also nearby. These factions have been engaged in an extremely fierce war for 2 years. Battles broke out wherever they met. They clashed on the plains every 3 days, and in larger battles every 5 days. Just as Xiao Yen and Gu Suner left the flame space, experts from the Hall of Souls attacked the Alliance group. Commander Lu had 10 storage rings, each filled with demonic flame stones. Risking their lives, his squad had been mining these stones for the Alliance for several months. An expert from the Hall of Souls and other protectors were about to kill the commander. But one of them, named Protector MO at the Do Zun level, suddenly noticed that his body had frozen stiff. His head suddenly flew off his body. The current Hall of Souls seems quite bold. The space behind the headless old man slowly rippled. From the spatial crack, Xiao Yen and Gu Suner slowly walked out. Looking at the headless corpse, the people from the Hall of Souls felt intense fear. Who are you? This is the territory of the Hall of Souls. Xiao Yen glanced at the dozens of people in black. A cold light appeared in his eyes. It seemed that even his Do Chi froze in that moment. Xiao Yen had so easily killed Protector MO, a 5-star Do Zun. What could be said about the rest? Everyone decided to run. Seeing the people in black fleeing, Commander Lu immediately breathed a sigh of relief. But would Xiao Yen let them escape? You think you can leave? Xiao Yen stamped his foot in the air, and an invisible ripple spread out in all directions. The dozens of fleeing people suddenly stopped. Then their heads flew into the sky. Commander Lu thanked Xiao Yen, calling him elder due to his strength. Next, Xiao Yen asked what had happened since the demonic flame region was sealed. In just 2 short years, the Heavenly Palace Alliance and the Hall of Souls had begun open warfare, the Shur clan had disappeared, and the 3 clans had formed an alliance. All these shocking events had come together. It was truly an extraordinarily eventful period. Xiao Yen nodded upon hearing about the various events that had occurred on the Central Plains. The expressions on the faces of Xiao Yen and Suner changed sharply when Commander Lu mentioned that the Shur clan had mysteriously disappeared, just like the Ling clan before. Commander Lu said that not far from here there were branches of the Hall of Souls. They were even guarded by a saint from the Hun clan. Many experts from the Heavenly Palace Alliance had died at the hands of this saint during the 2-year war. Xiao Yen raised his eyebrows and asked, "How many stars does this saint have?" "1 star." Xiao Yen smiled and decided to head there. Everyone froze, because the Hall of Souls was considered a deadly dangerous place that no one dared to approach. Xiao Yen disappeared into the crack and returned a few minutes later. The 1-star saint had been turned into minced meat by a single casual strike. The branch of the Hall of Souls within the demonic flame plains ceased to exist. Saint Hun Qing had also disappeared. Only then did everyone realize that the person before them was none other than the young leader of the alliance, Xiao Yen, and they were overcome with great shock. Yes, Xiao Yen had casually finished off a 1-star saint from the Hun clan. What was so unusual about that? After that, Xiao Yen said goodbye to Gu Suner. She had to return to the Gu clan. Suner's 2-year disappearance had caused a great commotion in the Gu clan, so she needed to go back. Plus, there was the issue with the Shi clan. "Suner, I promised that I would go to the Gu clan and propose an engagement. Wait for me." Xiao Yen headed alone to the Falling Star Pavilion. The fierce and heated battles between the two sides had exceeded all expectations. At present, neither side would calm down until the other was destroyed. The Hall of Souls had destroyed quite a few cities of the Alliance, while the Alliance had simultaneously wiped out many of their branches. Of course, Xiao Yen had no objection to this situation. The Hall of Souls had become his mortal enemy, and he had no intention of making peace with them. The current alliance had gained powerful strength, the ancestor Xiao Chen, and was also secretly protected by the ancestor of the Pill Tower. Xiao Yen clenched his fist. The alliance had grown even stronger over these 2 years. The number of powerful experts present in this region had reached a terrifying figure. In the past month alone, the alliance had engaged in a total of 43 battles with the Hall of Souls. Yao Lao and Venerable Feng were holding a meeting at headquarters. According to our intelligence, the Hun clan will send a true expert to help the Hall of Souls eliminate the Heavenly Palace Alliance. The Hall of Souls dared to do this, considering the strength of Xiao Chen and the ancestor of the Pill Tower. The powerful force that the Heavenly Palace Alliance had demonstrated over the years was extremely impressive. Facing such power, even the Hall of Souls had suffered heavy losses. Who had the Hun clan sent? It was Hun Qian Mo, a 6-star saint. He was exactly the one shown in the trailer. He was even stronger than the old man Hun Mo. Rumors said that in the past, he had participated in the killing of Xiao Xian. The last sentence hit like a heavy bomb, making the entire hall tremble. The Hun clan was actually sending such an old monster. It seemed they had decided to destroy the Heavenly Palace Alliance for sure. Why would the Hun clan send such an old monster? Aren't they afraid of dissatisfaction from the Gu clan and the other 3 clans? A 6-star saint. At present, all the ancient clans are suspicious of each other. They fear that the incidents with the Ling clan and Shi clan will repeat. Who would care about the Hun clan? Moreover, the Hun clan seems to be stirring up trouble. Otherwise, Hun Qianmo would not be coming here. The elder of the Pill Tower shook his head. If Hun Qianmo arrives, along with the Hall Master of the Hall of Souls and Hun Mo, then just Xiao Chen and the ancestor of the Pill Tower would not be enough. Although the Heavenly Palace Alliance was developing rapidly, they could barely fight against high-level experts at 5 and 6 stars. By the way, Zi Yen was not with them. She had returned to the ancient Void Dragon tribe. The hall fell into silence. But a familiar voice sounded. "If it's the Hall Master of the Hall of Souls, leave him to me." Xiao Chen's eyes suddenly widened. Yes, Xiao Yen had finally returned. Seeing him, Venerable Feng, Ancestor Hui Yun, Yao Lao, Xiao Chen, and everyone else in the large hall trembled. Their faces filled with disbelief. Yao Lao stood up with trembling legs, and his eyes became slightly moist. For the past 2 years, he had constantly worried about Xiao Yen. The young man walked up and stood in front of Yao Lao. He looked at the old man, who was so emotional that tears were already rolling from his eyes. In his heart, Xiao Yen wanted to apologize. His 2-year absence had made Yao Lao worry greatly. "Teacher, I have returned. Yes, this will be a cool moment." After 2 years, Xiao Yen has returned, and as a 5-star saint at that. What happened next, we will look at in the next video. Subscribe to the channel so you don't miss it. Thank you very much for watching. Give it a like, and see you all later.